Welcome to the world of Street Fighter, where fierce fighters from around the globe come together to battle for glory, revenge, supremacy, and to be the ultimate fighter ever lived. And one of those fierce fighters is Rashid of the Turbulent Wind, as he stands as a testament to the power of diversity and creativity in character development. Introduced in Street Fighter V and further refined in Street Fighter VI, Rashid hails from the Middle East, a region previously unrepresented in the game's vast character roster, and today he will be our guest. With his backstory, dynamic gameplay, and the complex interplay of tradition and modernity in his design, and his unique aspects that distinguish him from other characters, unraveling the many layers that make Rashid an integral part of the Street Fighter universe. If you are ready, then welcome to the stream. The inception of Rashid dates back to the development of Street Fighter V, introduced as part of new generation of fighters, along with characters like Nekali, Laura, Luke, Feng, and Menat. Rashid's design was aimed at encapsulating the essence of the Middle East, a region that's never been represented in the franchise before. Although Rashid's nationality has only been labeled as the Middle East, his official character artwork shows the Dubai skyline viewed from out in the desert, and in addition to that, he was first officially unveiled on September 11, 2015 at the game show Game 15 in Dubai. As the second male Middle Eastern fighter within the main games after Hakan, who is a Turkish traditional wrestler. I believe Capcom strive to blend elements of traditional and contemporary culture in his persona, respecting the region's heritage, while acknowledging its modern realities, as Rashid wears a visor in Street Fighter V that kinda resembles the very same Saiyajin visors of Dragon Ball, and Rashid also streams his battles with his camera and drone in Street Fighter VI. Rashid is often depicted in a white, loose-fitting outfit with a traditional headdress called kefiye, and depicted with a carefree nature, bringing an endearing lightness to the otherwise intense atmosphere of Street Fighter games. The design of Rashid and his personality beautifully represents the harmony between preserving cultural tradition and embracing the modernity. Then let's move on to Rashid's debut in Street Fighter V and his background story first, before we move on to his Street Fighter VI appearance and his relationship with other Street Fighter characters. Rashid is the eldest son of an old aristocratic Middle Eastern family who is traveling the world along with his servant Azam in search of a missing friend who has been kidnapped by Shadaloo. During Rashid's character story, Rashid and Azam learn about the recent activity of Shadaloo and confront Birdie, who is a former member of the organization at that time, to question him about Rashid's missing friend. It is at that time we learn from Rashid that his friend was working at the SIN lab before disappearing, the very same Shadaloo's branch of SIN that was the antagonist side during the events of Street Fighter IV. After his victory against Birdie, Rashid communicates with his online contact Maya, who is supposedly Crimson Viper of Street Fighter IV, as she advises Rashid to challenge Ryu to gauge his readiness to confront Shadaloo. As both Rashid and Azam find Ryu being trained with his master Gouken, Rashid presents himself as a global hero and proposes a friendly duel. Canonically, Ryu triumphs with a decisive Shoryuken move, and starting the friendly rivalry between Rashid and Ryu that's even been presented in Street Fighter VI. And despite his defeat, Rashid cherishes the experience, acknowledging that it gave him a great story and valuable insight into his abilities, but still challenging Shadaloo to find his missing friend during the main story of Street Fighter V, A Shadow Falls. Rashid plays a significant role in Street Fighter V's main story. His pursuit of his missing friend leads him to the headquarters of Shadaloo, where we see a general of Shadaloo, Feng, executing a female scientist with his poison attack, possibly killing Rashid's friend, who was secretly trying to stop the Black Moon's project of Shadaloo. During his raid on Shadaloo headquarters, he rescues Li Fan, a captive of the notorious Shadaloo organization, and later on he winds up in an unexpected confrontation with the elusive Feng. This encounter results in Rashid losing a chess piece of critical importance which can control the Black Moons, a series of satellites designed to create chaos worldwide. Don't ask why Rashid has this piece or why this project operates depending on these chess pieces. I think it's just poor storytelling. Anyways, further into the story, an enigmatic figure named Colin, who works for Urian during the main story's early events, provides Rashid with insight into the functionality of the pieces controlling the Black Moons, guiding Rashid to the ruins of New York, where he crosses paths with Chun-Li, Guile, Kami, and Charlie Nash. As a couple of battles occur, Rashid manages to secure Chun-Li's piece as Charlie Nash makes away with Guile's piece, bringing these two chess pieces to Urian and Colin's organization. And during these events, Rashid and his loyal servant Azam learn about the true goal of Colin and Urian, as she elaborates their plan to thwart Shadaloo's Black Moon project. Despite the tension-filled encounter with Urian and the challenging fight against Jury, Rashid is convinced to align himself with Colin's cause to gather the chess pieces to stop Shadaloo's weapon of mass destruction. And as for the next phase of their mission, Rashid and Charlie Nash head to the Kanzuki estate, the home of Karin Kanzuki. Despite losing a fight to the lady of the house Karin, somehow Rashid manages to win her piece, while sharing Nash's own story about saving his missing friend. And with the gathered chess pieces, they plan to infiltrate the Shadaloo base. As other characters like Kami fight against the dolls of Shadaloo, Rashid meanwhile cracks the riddle left behind by his missing friend as he kickstarts the process to halt the Operation Chains. And while Rashid focuses on this machine, Feng appears, revealing that he was responsible for his friend's murder, fueling Rashid's rage and leading to a fierce duel. But it's your boy Rashid as he emerges victorious, achieving a measure of vengeance for his friend and basking in his successful endeavor to save the world. In the aftermath of Ryu's victory over M. Bison and the destruction of Shadaloo base, Rashid and Azam observe the other fighters from distance. As a reminder of his lost friend, Rashid receives a message from her motivating him to live his life fully. Strengthened with renewed determination, Rashid and Azam depart, ready to face whatever the challenges the future holds. And with that, Rashid's Street Fighter V story ends.
Welcome to the stream!
After the events of A Shadow Falls, we learn more about Rashid during his arcade story and the world tour. We learn that he continued his travels with Azam and decided on streaming and vlogging his fierce battles with other fighters around the globe. However, his ultimate goal in his arcade story is to battle against Ryu once again, both in order to test his strength and as well as streaming a fierce, enjoyable battle. Of course, Ryu accepts and they both fight. After defeating Ryu, Rashid realizes that his fight against Ryu is something that he can never forget to learn more about himself. And inspired by Ryu's path of training, Rashid decides to take a similar path as him as well, with no cell phone, no cameras or no videos as they both had fought. However, Rashid is Rashid. He gets a drone camera in wanting to make videos of his fights with the fighters around the globe, much to Azam's disappointment, concluding Rashid's arcade story. And in World Tour, Rashid can become our master, while trying to record an educational video that Azam wants to create for new fighters. And he practically wants us to play the main character of the video to fight Rashid, who will be the bad guy. If the players train under Rashid and develop a relationship with him, he will talk about his childhood and how harshly Azam trained him since his childhood with each relationship rank increase. His character development in Street Fighter VI explores this internal struggle and paints a picture of a hero who is continuously evolving. Through Street Fighter V and Street Fighter VI, Rashid's story serves as a testament to the power of friendship, the pursuit of justice, and a personal growth, and possibly trying to stay positive even in dire times. His journey is an embodiment of a courage and resilience that makes Rashid one of the most memorable new bloods of Street Fighter universe. Meanwhile, Rashid's interactions with other Street Fighter characters added depth to his character arc, starting with his respectful engagement with Dalsim, his adversarial relationship with Feng, and his meaningful encounters with the likes of Ryu. They all gave us an understanding of Rashid's compassionate nature and his unwavering resolve. These relationships were not just narrative threads but served as a testament to Rashid's character growth and his significant role in the overarching story, and I believe that his introduction was more than just a new character debut. It also marked a significant chapter in Street Fighter narrative, building a new ground for the series' future alongside with characters like Luke, Jamie, and Li Fan. And before concluding Rashid's journey, let's talk about his gameplay and his design in terms of a fighting character. Rashid in Street Fighter V represented a breath of fresh air to the series with a wholly original gameplay style with his mobility-oriented move list. Rashid introduced several new elements that set him apart from the classic roster, combining speedy footwork with high-flying aerial assaults and unique wind-based special attacks. Rashid's dynamic gameplay allows for a unique hit-and-run strategy that excels at overwhelming opponents. Rashid can summon tornadoes to deal damage, send mini whirlwinds from his foot, close the gap between his opponents with his Eagle Spike move, proudly carrying the title of Turbulent Wind. This characteristic wind-themed gameplay of Rashid's enhances his mobility and as well as lends a level of unpredictability that is crucial to his gameplay style. And also in Street Fighter VI, we have an improved version of Rashid, maintaining his core traits of speed and mobility. The developers enhanced Rashid's ability to control the battlefield with more strategic options like mid-air jump and accessing to more tornado abilities that would help him to deal damage. I believe these changes have provided Rashid with an even more control over the pace of the match, letting him dictate the range and the flow of combat with his improved set of tools, especially in contrast to often close quarters focus of many Street Fighter characters. To put it simply, Rashid's ability to control space, coupled with his high mobility, making him a unique character, as his wind-based abilities and dynamic movement options make him one of the more exciting characters to watch in a fight, lending themselves to create flashy combos that none other character can replicate. To wrap it up, Rashid is more than just a fighter. He is like a cool but a dorky friend who is into tech and also happens to be a world-class martial artist. He's got an exotic flair, being our guy from the Middle East, and brings a whole new flavor to Street Fighter universe. When it comes to the gameplay, he keeps us on our toes with moves that feel fresh and a style that's all his own. Since showing up in Street Fighter V, he's been shaking things up and keeping the series interesting with his style and move list. And with Street Fighter VI, he's back even stronger, proving that he's here to stay. And at the end of the day, Rashid has carved out his own space in Street Fighter and in the whole fighting game scene. And I believe he is also a reminder of how diverse and creative fighting games can be. So next time you pick up the controller, why not give Rashid a whirl? You might just find that his whirlwinds of energy are just what you need to bring a new spark to your game. And as always, thank you for watching today's video, and as our next guest, we will be talking about our charismatic Korean fighter of Tekken, Hwoarang.